Today is the full moon in Scorpio, and we are here today thinking about the flower moon and its power and how you can bloom.
Hello and welcome back to Manifesting with the Moon. I am Kristy Sturdivant and I am here with Stephanie Cartwright, and it is the full moon on May 1st in the sign of Scorpio. And it's kind of a big one. We're coming off some major transits astrologically. So, how are you feeling about things, Steph?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. And apparently it's also on at 11 degrees. So it's 1st of May, 11 degrees. So it's a 111. So we've also got
Ooh.
a bit of numerology power boosting full moon energy that we're going to be getting as well on May the 1st.
Ooh, that feels nice. Or
It
maybe
does, doesn't it?
not. Yeah,
I don't
Scorpio's
know.
kind of intense.
It is. I think that's the thing, isn't it, with Scorpio? It is intense and it tends to also be, emotional. I often think of that Scorpio energy when we're doing anything to do with manifesting is often connected to shadow work. So it's almost like that side of ourselves that we keep hidden very often, whether or not that's our fears or whether or not it's our biggest dreams in a way. The way I described it the other day was it's almost like when we go into the darkness of almost like the person who we don't normally want to see, we present ourselves in this outer world, but that shadow work, it's almost like we have the smallest version of ourselves, the most scared, almost very childlike, with all of its history and baggage that it's carried. And then we've got almost the grandest version of ourselves, almost like that queen empress energy in amongst it, that a lot of us are not able to fully step into because it feels big and powerful. And, you've got to really embody that. So for me, this Scorpio moon is about, okay, let's do a little bit of that potential shadow work, go into those parts of us. What do we want to let go of? So very often it's getting rid of the fears, that almost like that small childhood self, that shadow work, and then stepping into that Empress energy so that then actually our embodiment we're able to go into, we're manifesting ourselves into that bigger, better version of ourselves, and we're releasing the smaller, scared version of ourselves.
Ooh,
Does
I
that make
like
sense?
that. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I've had a lot of things pop up in my life recently about the concept of worthiness and everything. And I came across a reel this morning that said that your worthiness was a factory setting. And the fact that you're feeling unworthy is things that have that you have experienced over, your life and the conditioning that it was. So I think this full moon is a really good chance for you to kind of look at what your thoughts are of this concept of worthiness and then see how you can step into that even more because even though worthiness is like a really big thing, either you believe you're worthy or you're not, it's still kind of a hard concept to wrap your head around because we don't often have a lot of opportunities day to day where we can be like, oh, yes, I'm going to do this because I feel worthy or I feel really good about myself. It's like
Yeah.
you have to kind of work on it so that when you are, you know, um, given that opportunity to, like, really step into it, that you have done all of that, like, shifting internally so that you're ready to step into it.
Yeah, I love that. And let's use that flower moon, almost like using that as an analogy. So it's almost like stepping into blooming and being that rose or tulip, and actually not being looking at another flower like I don't know, the opposite, a daffodil, and going, I am not worthy because I'm not a daffodil. So I am embodying and I am embracing who I am. I am worthy as how I am flowering, how I am blooming. And I'm going to own this rather than almost like that comparison. I mean, I shouldn't really, I should really, just keep quiet, keep small. It's like, no, here I am. So use that flower moon energy to actually open up And you said something really interesting earlier about lotus flower energy. And I wonder whether or not we could use this in that. It's almost like the lotus energy just keeps unfolding, but it is fed and anchored down into the darkness and the mud and the gingy stuff at the bottom. But it doesn't stop embodying and blooming, does it at all? And yet it's fed on the decay, it's fed on what was released before it.
Yes, it feels like this very I mean, I don't know a lot about flowers. I just know that lotus blossoms have a lot of symbolism as peaceful and calm, and they do bloom in these kind of strange, almost typically adverse situations, which is very much what this full moon
Mm.
is about, right? It's like taking your current situation, realizing where you are in this current situation, and then saying, I'm going to flourish anyway because I'm worthy of flourishing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's really the message, isn't it? This full moon. It's about flourishing, blooming, coming out, whatever the death and decay bit, the releasing, whatever has been released before, or maybe keep on releasing, so that you can go into almost that really lovely, strong energy and embrace your identity fully.
Yes, and I think it's, like, even a more powerful moon this time around because this past weekend, we had a big astrological transit where Uranus shifted from that sticky, earthy Taurus energy into this Gemini energy, and so things are moving really, really fast, and so having that within, like, 7 days of this full moon, it really gives you an opportunity as things are coming in and might feel kind of overwhelming to kind of, like, settle into your bloom and like say, okay, this is coming in. This is not the kind of stuff I want to be dealing with anymore because it's no longer worthy of my attention. It's no longer necessary for me to feed on in order to grow and flourish. And so lean into that
Yeah,
factory setting of your inherent worthiness and just, take it slow and move with intention,
yeah.
as always.
Yeah, and release those old stories. You
Mhm.
know, this is the power of the full moon. Release those old stories that are holding you back because they don't have to hold you back anymore. And like you say, with all of that lovely planetary alignment and that energy that's there to support us, this is a lovely supported time to do that. So for some people, it's going to feel like a lot because maybe they've been holding on tight for some of those, that's almost like that shadow work, their identity. But
Mhm.
actually, it's been outgrown and now it's time, let it go. Just let it go.
Yes, and I kinda love how the Scorpio full moon, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, coincides with, well, Beltane this year, right? And so you
Yep.
do have this,
Yeah.
like, very, polar juxtaposition of, like, it is, like, the first day of summer, it's bright, it's fiery, it's, you know, fertile, and then you have the moon that's like, "Oh, no, it's also this." So it's a very
Yeah.
interesting energy.
Yeah, it is. But I think supportive. So even though it brings things up, think about it. It is there for a purpose to help bring these things up to the surface so that you can then let go of the things that have been almost like tying you back, holding you down, keeping you closed. Let go of those, let them bubble up and let go of things that no longer serve you. So I was thinking about some rituals to do with something like this. And I think given that it's the flower energy, um, I think things like showers, thinking about watering plants, I think something like a shower and really visualizing letting go, almost like washing that old version of you off. You know, something like that could be a really nice way of releasing under the full moon. Obviously, with Beltane, often with fire. So, if you want to do the shadow work, the releasing really with Beltane would really be about putting it into flames, whether or not that's a candle or whether or not it's a small pit, fire pit in your garden. But again, that releasing. So, using the symbols that really are what is connected with this moon, use those with a ritual, I think would be a really lovely way to embrace it as well.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. Yeah. And interestingly enough, I think just, having that reminder of you are a flower, right? You have come so far and you have grown so much and you are, blooming. You are in this cycle. You are hopefully, getting ready and feeling really good about opening up and blooming. I think just having flowers around randomly, I never buy fresh cut flowers, but this past weekend I was like, "Oh, I think I need some fresh cut flowers." And I didn't even realize until Stephanie told me this morning that it was the flower moon. I was like,
There you
"Oh,
go. Well, this is the thing,
synchronicity."
but when you're in alignment with the energy, these
Mm,
things are coming forward to help support you and help, give you these sorts of prompts to embody, I
mm.
think, some of the shifts and changes.
Yes, I mean, there are signs and, um, urges all around us all the time if you just take a moment to listen and kind of observe and analyze. I mean,
Hmm.
it's the law of correspondence. It's a beautiful thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
everything
it is.
inside of us is reflected in some way around us. So if you just take a moment to kinda just see what's going on and then think about it, you might find some really interesting things that you can step into or let go of. It's very powerful.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea.
So, happy Beltane, Steph. Happy Beltane to everyone.
Yeah, happy Beltane. Yeah,
Have a fantastic full moon, and we will see you next time.
we will indeed. Bye.